and good evening. Welcome. This is Ghana Tonight. We're live from Anusabata Desawe Kanda, also live on TV3 Ghana on Facebook and on DSTV channel 279. We're all across the world on 3news.com. I am Alfred Ocansey. Tonight, suspected illegal miners arrested after a violent clash with the Anti-galamsey task force set up by the Inspector General of Police in Amanse West in the Ashanti region. We bring you chilling detail on how alarming the galamsey threat has grown. Also, the Attorney General is praying the High Court to dismiss yet another suit by the suspended Chief Justice, her ladyship Gertrude Tukono, challenging the legality of one of the petitioners seeking her removal. We have more on this. Stay with us on Ghana Tonight. Also, government of Ghana turns to the United States experts for help in probing the fatal helicopter crash. We unpack all the key issues surrounding this latest development, as was put out earlier today by the Minister in charge of Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, here on Ghana Tonight. We have this and more, plus a build-up to tomorrow's state funeral for the remaining 6 gallant Ghanaians we lost just a little over a week ago as a result of that tragic helicopter crash. Earlier this evening, there was also a remembrance mass that was held at the Christ the King Parish Hall. There will have details of that particular one as well, and also what the late Dr. Edward Omanebwama and also the pilot, Peter Anale's wife and family, have been sharing with all of us about how they remember these departed ones. Stay with us. We'll get in a lot more into that here on Ghana Tonight. Let's settle for Ghana Briefs.
The Office of the Attorney General is urging an Accra High Court to strike out yet another case filed by Chief Justice Gertrude Tukono. The Chief Justice is in court once again seeking to halt the ongoing impeachment process, insisting one of the entities behind the petition, Shining Stars of Ghana, does not have a legal status. Documents filed on behalf of the AG by Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Remsai wants the High Court to rule that the CJ's request has no basis in law. The Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, has confirmed that experts from the United States of America will be arriving in Ghana to help probe the C-9 helicopter which crashed last week. The minister says although the aircraft was manufactured by the Chinese, the president wants the Americans to assist with investigating the content of the black box to alleviate all doubts.
To you that on the instruction of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, we have formally requested the Americans to come in and assist. We all know that they have considerable expertise when it comes to these matters. And so the indication we have received from the Americans is that they are very much willing to assist. We think that it is important to bring in independent experts to ensure that the outcome of the investigations will be acceptable to all, so that there will also be confidence in the process. Nobody has anything to hide, and it is important that this process is done in a very thorough manner.
The 4 illegal miners arrested following a clash between the Bontresso community and the IGP Special Anti-galamsey Task Force in the Amanse West District of the Ashanti region have been transferred to Accra for further investigation and prosecution. Wednesday's confrontation led to 2 police officers sustaining injuries after the residents pelted the task force with stones. The IGP's men say future operations in the area will require reinforced security presence, advanced tactical planning, and readiness for armed confrontation. The Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU of TUC, and other commercial transport operators are threatening to demonstrate against government over the delay in fixing the Pokwase-Nsawam Road. In a statement issued on August 14, the group lamented that the deplorable state of the road has made it unmotorable and poses extreme dangers to motorists, commuters and residents along the Pokwase-Nsawam stretch. The commercial transport operators say they continue to grapple with high operational costs due to the bad nature of the road, which requires frequent maintenance and changing of spare parts. The Vehicle and Asset Dealers Association of Ghana has expressed concern over recent seizures of alleged stolen imported vehicles by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO. The association says the operations are causing panic among buyers and disrupting sales across the sector.
When a buyer is coming, they ask that, oh, we've been hearing that these days they say the car that you people sell is a stolen car. And for you to answer this question also, it's a very difficult thing because, you know, it is not our fault. It's not the fault of anybody. And nobody also expected this, you know, to happen to us. So in fact, it has not been a very good news to us at all. What I propose to address this matter is that sometimes some of these issues are security matters. When it comes up and quickly the news comes into the system, everybody becomes scary. Your activities and your movement and all that becomes, rigid.
As morning is on 3news.com. Make some time and visit 3news.com. This is Ghana Tonight. As always, we're live on 3FM 92.7. Also on TV3 Ghana on Facebook and on YouTube as well. And it's as always proudly brought to you by Flamingo Paint, Simply Superior, Sasso Insecticide Spray and Coil, Tum Preco. Coming up next here on Ghana Tonight. This is one that we just want to give you an update on because, as I've always indicated, this is a rolling stone of a case in nature, gathering dust in many forms. Coming up tonight, the Attorney General wants the High Court to dismiss a suit filed by the suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonum as she challenges the legitimacy of a petitioner seeking her removal. Now, we're going to get into the details of who this petitioner is and the case that the suspended Chief Justice is taking to the court right now. But as we were learning today, the Office of the Attorney General is urging an Accra High Court to dismiss, in fact, strike out yet another case filed by the Chief Justice, Justice Gertrude Tokonum. She's in court once again, seeking to halt the ongoing impeachment process, insisting one of the entities behind the petition, Shining Stars of Ghana, does not have a legal status. Documents filed on behalf of the Attorney General by the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Justice Shemsai, wants the High Court to rule that the Chief Justice's request has no basis in law. Now, let's walk you through parts of the document as we have secured here on Ghana Tonight, filed by the Attorney General. And Dennis Boberwadam Esquire is with me in the studios. So it's good to have you at a time like this.
It's a pleasure being here, Alfred.
What's the latest on this? What do we know?
Well, so Alfred, if you recall, somewhere last month, that's in July 2025, the Chief Justice, Her Ladyship, filed another judicial review. And this time around, that was in respect of one of the petitioners who are seeking her removal. And that was to the effect that she wanted the High Court to declare that that particular petitioner, in the person of the Shining Stars of Ghana, does not exist in law and it does not exist in fact. The argument advanced by the Chief Justice in that particular suit was to the effect that when you check the records, you do not see that the Shining Stars of Ghana exist anywhere, either as an incorporated body or anything of that sort.
Right.
And to that extent, it should be declared as not being in existence, whether in fact or in law. Now, the Attorney General today has also filed a process seeking to set aside this particular suit. And in doing so, the Attorney General is making the argument that the matters that the Chief Justice wants the High Court to look into are matters that are within the purview of Article 146, specifically the part where such matters are supposed to be in camera. And to the extent that they're supposed to be in camera, they should not be admissible in that court.
Right.
So to that extent, the Attorney General wants the court to strike out that particular suit. Then again, the Attorney General also argues that yes, Shining Stars of Ghana may not be incorporated, but it might be an unincorporated body of persons.
What does that mean?
Well, to say that it is incorporated means that it is set up to exist as having a legal personality in law.
Right.
And that was part of the argument that the Chief Justice advanced in saying that it does not exist in law and it does not exist in fact.
So essentially, the AG is saying
it
yes,
may
it could be
in existence, but in a different form, which says that it might be an unincorporated body of persons.
So in plain language, it could be an existing body but not incorporated in law.
Yes.
Okay.
And that does not deprive them of existence, as has been canvassed by the Chief Justice in that particular suit.
Right.
The Attorney General also goes on to say that such an entity does not necessarily have to incorporate or be registered to exist in law. That is an extension of the earlier point that you have made.
That's right.
That yes, it may exist, but not in the form that the Chief Justice says that it has to exist to be in existence in law. It may not be incorporated, it may not be registered, but it may be an unincorporated body of persons,
That's right.
however described.
Right.
The Attorney General goes on to say that under the circumstances, the court has to exercise its jurisdiction and to strike out the case to the extent that they make the argument that these are matters that are within the purview of an in-camera hearing. Such matters should not be disclosed in open courts. And to the extent that they make the argument that, yes, it may not be incorporated, but it can exist in other forms. On the totality of it, the Attorney General's argument is that, you know what, just dismiss this case. Now, mind you, this is not the first time. Even before the Chief Justice filed this particular suit, there was another judicial review that was in respect of some procedural breaches that she alleged, including the breach of her rights and all that.
Yes.
It was the same approach that the Attorney General used in filing a motion to set aside that particular action. That succeeded, and that particular judicial review was struck out. Now, it is the same thing we are seeing playing out here, or the same strategy, but we are unable to tell at this level what the decision of the court would be. Whether to allow that or to allow the case to proceed for it to be heard on its merit. So that's by way of update on this particular matter, Alfred.
I see, but I recall that when this matter came up earlier, you had indicated that in some instances the court will look at the merits of the petitioner's case as against its legal status, right? So if you're juxtaposing the two positions as earlier espoused, how does this link to the previous position that
So the route that we are on now would not even allow the court to begin to look into that. What they are looking into would be whether or not the Attorney General's process meets the threshold of setting aside the original matters. It is only if that fails, then they begin to look into whether or not these persons actually exist in fact or they do not exist.
Okay.
But look at it. The Attorney General does not only argue on the existence of these persons. He argues on the fact that these are matters that should not even come before this particular court. So if that threshold is something that the court thinks that it's okay to proceed with it, then it means that they may not even go into the next leg of it. It will just end there. The matter will be struck out.
I see. So there is actually raising questions about the jurisdiction of the court, essentially.
Precisely.
I see. Well, it's the coming days we'll look at how things will play out, is it not?
Precisely so. So that's why we are looking forward to see how this will progress. And even, remember, the Chief Justice and her lawyers also have that opportunity to respond to this.
True.
As to whether they oppose it or they will go to court to argue viva voce. That's a different thing that we are looking at. So there are so many legs this particular case can run on.
I do appreciate you, as always, breaking the matters down. And we're following this quite closely, and we will be taking you through every step of the way. Dennis Pabewodam, as always, doing the job for us. Thank you, Dennis. Now, you're still live here on Ghana Tonight. Coming up next, there's a matter that, unfortunately, was one of the causes for this tragic incident that we're talking about. Just hit us a little over a week ago. Galamsey. Some suspected illegal miners have been arrested after a violent clash with the Anti-galamsey task force in Amansia West. Now, we reveal the chilling detail of the growing threat of galamsey to our livelihoods, this existential threat that we describe it. Now, I'm going to show you a video. The IGP's Special Anti-galamsey Task Force came under attack at Bonteso in the Ashanti region after seizing an excavator from an illegal miner or in the illegal mining site near Manson Kwanta. I want to show you this site, this illegal mining site that the Anti-galamsey Special Task Force set up by the IGP accosted. That's what you see there. This is what they found after they acted upon a tip-off. In fact, this was first revealed, this galamsey activity in this particular area was first revealed by Erastus Sasaridonko, a Joy News reporter who uncovered what's going on there, because this Anti-galamsey Task Force had earlier, a little over a month ago, gone to this area, clamped down on illegal miners, drove them out of this site. But a few weeks later, the illegal miners returned. And so Erastus then went back and got the information that the illegal miners are back. This IGP Special Task Force on illegal mining went back there to track them, and guess what? They found this. But here's where it gets worrying. The officers of this Special Anti-galamsey Task Force by the IGP came under attack by the community members of Bontreso. And they had to fire warning shots to ward off these community members who, according to the commander who led them, were wielding stones and other elements to attack them because they had gone there to clamp down on illegal mining. Take a look. So that's that chilling detail, and this video we got was made available by Erastus Sasari Donko, who's been following this quite closely, and you saw the IGP's Special Anti-galamsey Task Force. They had to fire warning shots to ward off these community, the residents of the Bonteso area, who had massed up to, as it were, attack them for clamping down on illegal mining going on in the area. Now, one of the members or the personnel of this IGP's Special Anti-galamsey Task Force gave some detail of exactly what they went there to do and why they were under attack. Take a look at this.
We are connected around Bonteso electoral area, and this area we can all see how the land have been degraded. It's so terrible. We came and met 2 excavators on the site, and then upon sighting us, one driver to the excavator ran away. The other one was still in action, and then we arrested him. While I was about to move him, 2 gentlemen came forward that they were the owners of the excavators, and all of a sudden the community started mobilizing to attack. Some started even throwing stones to attack the police. I think basically the area is becoming chaotic, but with our professionalism, we are just trying to make sure that we secure the area and be able to move the machines out of this jurisdiction.
Well, so that's all that happened, and it gets quite concerning when you begin to question what exactly could have emboldened the community members to want to do this, and in fact get that level of impunity, essentially, to want to attack these members of the IGP's Anti-galamsey Task Force. But let me welcome Engineer Dr. Ken Ashigbe. He is the leader of the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey, also the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Mines. But for the conversation tonight, he's one of the leaders of this Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey. Engineer Dr. Ken Ashigbe, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Great. And I can hear you clearly. Now, here's what I want us to do. Earlier on 3FM 92.7 Hot Edition, which airs at 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, I spoke to Prince Maurice Menu. He is the DCE for Amansia West, where this particular area is located. Engineer Dr. Ashigbe, if you could indulge me, let's take a listen to what he said and whether that creates some sense of concern as well for you. Let's take a listen.
I went to the town this morning to also look at things for myself. As I said earlier, I had a call yesterday. So I, assembly member and then the commander of the team, we had a conference call. And the assembly member narrated that they were not mining. But he told me that they met excavator and a tipper truck. That is the commander. He said that they met excavator and a tipper truck. You understand? So they perceived that once they've seen the excavator and the tipper truck, it was mining. But actually, it wasn't mining. I don't know if you've been to a mining site before, you could understand what I'm saying. Because in a mining site, most of them don't use tipper truck, or they don't transport the load to different places. They wash it at the exact point they take the sand from.
I see. So did the commander concede? You said you had a conference call with him. Did he concede that indeed what his men had seen there was not illegal mining going on?
To be very honest, he didn't concede. He said he met them doing that, doing mining. That is the excavator and the tipper truck. As I said, here we use their waste as a building materials. So
I get the point, but you see, if the commander didn't concede and he did insist that he met them engaging in illegal mining, why would you say that they weren't mining? You are the chair of the District Security Council. I mean, you should be interested in establishing exactly what happened.
I'm very much interested in it. That's why I said I went to the town today myself and I engaged other people, and I was informed that they were not mining. The reason why I'm confident saying this is that that place is forced under Asanko Mines Concession, and currently they have soldiers mining their concession, making sure that there's no illegal mining going on in their catchment areas. You understand?
I see. But then wouldn't you be interested in also instituting some investigation into this instead of just concluding that because you've spoken to the residents, what they are saying is true?
Today, we engaged the national security. They came to the grounds, and I think they're also investigating about the issue. And the local, the dissect members are also on grounds to ascertain what the true picture of the issue is.
Well, if the national security is already investigating, it's quite worrying to me to hear you already make conclusive statements that it is indeed not illegal mining because you had spoken to the residents and you believe that it is not illegal mining they were engaged in. That's quite worrying. That's you as the DCE.
You see, we are all fighting against this illegal mining, and none of us is condoning that act. You understand? Ever since I assumed office, I've engaged more than 20 communities, explaining to them the dangers of what they are doing. So if they are doing mining, I should be able to know, because I know the process, like how they do their mining. You understand? And I know if someone is also taking sand to build, I also know that. That's why I'm saying that what they were doing wasn't mining. Because in the mining, it involves excavator, their pump machines and other stuff. But when they went there was no pumping machine. There was only excavator and a tipper truck loading a sand.
Yes, but then the commander knows what he saw. That's why he said they were mining. But you say you know exactly what's going on and that they were not mining. But you were not at the site because you concede that you weren't there, correct?
Yes.
So you were told about what happened, but the commander was there. Commander insists that they were mining. You say they weren't mining based on what you were told by the community members.
It's a mining area, and it's a mining site where he met the excavator and the truck. It's a mining site. That is why maybe he's conceiving that they were mining.
So in the end, as the commander insists that they were mining, what are you, the chair of the District Security Council, going to do?
That's why I said I've instituted an investigation team to go on ground to ascertain what the true picture is.
I see, but it appears that already the conclusion is made, and the outcome of this investigation you have instituted, which is not concluded yet, is already known. No, I'm saying that because you have instituted investigations have not ended yet, but you are telling me now that you believe they were not mining. So if the investigation comes out and they say they were actually mining.
I was explaining to the process in mining. Those who mine, they have their pumping machines, their...
So that's a conversation I had with the Amancia West DC on 3FM 92.7. Hot edition, 5 p.m. You should make some time and join me and the team there. But Engineer Dr. Kanashigbe, I mean, listening to this, does it raise any concern for you? Or he did bring some clarity to the issues that this is an Asanko mine concession manned by soldiers, so there's no way illegal mining could have taken place there?
Alfred, I am laughing, but I am crying. You see, so this is, what did he say the name of the DC is?
This is Menu Prince.
Mr. Menu Prince is complicit in this particular thing.
Why would you say that?
But this is somebody who says that investigations are going on, and he says that, they are not engaged in mining. What kind of investigation is that?
This is somebody who also tells us.
Pardon?
He says it's instituted investigations.
Oh, but Alfred, does he think you are a fool? Does he think that you said that you have come to a conclusion that this is not mining? And then, so what investigations are you instituting into what? And this is a DC who tells us that there are people in a mining site. In his time, he tells you that it's a mining site, and the people have an excavator, and they've dug a deep pit. and they are taking sand from there to go and build where? And how are they going to fill that particular pit that they've left there? And if he knows mining and Asanko is there, tell him that Asanko will take the ore and transport it to a processing site. So if these people decide that they have excavators, they are digging deep pits and taking the ore into a green truck and moving it somewhere to go and process, he won't see any pumping machine there, because that's not where they are processing. The mining of the ore and the processing of the ore are two different things. And so, so this is why I say that the challenge you have with DCEs who have mining happening there is either they are complicit or they are incompetent. Does this man, he should have asked them that even if it was that they were taking sand winning, does he know that there are permits that have to be gotten before sand winning is done? And even I am not believing any of the stories he's telling, but even if it was sand winning, these people, do they have permits? Has he issued any permits to them? And he, as the district security chairperson, he's not concerned. The state actors have been attacked by civilians. He's not concerned about that. And all he wants to do is to clear the people who are definitely engaged in an illegality. I based on that. There are two things at play here. Either he's complicit or he's incompetent. And for me, this is one of the DCs that I would suggest to His Excellency the President that needs to be sacked, and we need to investigate his actions, because this is completely unacceptable. Look at the space that he's talking about.
But he says he's instituted investigations.
Which investigations? And investigations that he is prejudicing the investigation by saying that the people are not guilty. This is akin to things that we have seen before, where you have leadership clearing people even before any decision is taken. And so for this particular DC, we should be asking for an investigation to go into his activities. He has a community that have attacked. I don't know whether you saw one of the policemen has his lip. There was a stone that has hit his lip.
Yes, I have that. In fact, we're going to put that on the screen right now. Forgive me, but yeah, Erasmus made that available, the video available as well. He posted that of the injuries that the police had sustained as a result of this attack by the residents in the area. Yeah.
Alfred, we need to commend the IGP and his team for the show of bravado, bravery, and then also the professionalism. Anybody under attack could have lowered those rifles and would have had a different story, because these were police people who were under attack, but they decided to use minimum force, fire into the air to dispel the people, and still carried out their action. So we need to commend the IGP. But coming on the back of what we have seen, today there's a memorial service, a vigil happening at Christ the King for people who are falling in the line of duty, and you have a DC coming to defend such things. He won't tell you that he's instituted an investigation, so he's waiting for that. But he's rather supporting the people and saying that they were not engaged in it. This DCE does not deserve, his position. And we definitely need to be asking the Minister for Local Government by now should be taking action into this particular issue. And the Tontochrome thing that they are talking about, Asanko has suffered a lot of illegal encroachment onto their place. And so for you, a DC, when you see this thing and you have seen people come from outside your jurisdiction to come and deal with it, you should be supporting them rather than chastising them. And so we should be asking the district police commanders in this community, the divisional commanders in this, what were they doing? And so I am one of the prescriptions that for us as the coalition will be asking, apart from all the issues we've asked already, states of emergency, is the fact that the DCEs, the police commanders, the NIB in these places, if they are not working, they should be dismissed immediately. And then after the dismissal, the president should ensure that they institute investigations to find out whether they are complicit in it or not. We should be looking into their bank accounts, the accounts of their spouses, the accounts of their children, their friends, and all of that, to trace them. Who are the owners of these excavators? We should find out. Who are the owners of these trucks? We should be able to trace where these trucks have gone to, where their processing plant is. They are moving the ore to a particular place. Because, Alfred, if he says that they are taking sand from there, how are they going to fill the pits, the deep gullies that they are leaving behind? How is this person our DC? How is this person the president's representative where he is?
But you see, it brings up another concern about a trend we have seen of state actors being attacked by persons living in an area where illegal mining is taking place. You recall what happened in the case of Dr. Anabisu, right? It's a little over 2 months ago, when she was literally held hostage by these persons within a community where the same task force had gone in there to clamp down on illegal mining. Then we are seeing this as well. What is influencing or fueling that level of boldness and impunity, if you want to call it, by these people?
Alfred, it's the lack of consequences. It's the presence of DCEs like this, where people, state actors have been attacked, and he comes on an interview and he would not even face that and say he is taking drastic actions against that. That is the things that fuels the impunity that we're seeing. And that's what emboldens people like this. What has happened to the police commander who Anabisu claimed that had instigated the crowd to come attack them? There are situations where you go into the Awin area, for example. There are some men who then would go and attack Forestry Commission people, down them into a taxi, and drive them into a police station. You remember very recently, there were videos of some people wearing national security, this is their brown fatigue, with a police man included in them, with a police vehicle. They went hitting 3 Forestry Commission officers, locking them up. What has happened to them? And so this is why the Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency the President, this is why the Minister for Interior, this is what the IGP, this is what all our security chiefs need to be dealing with. The situations where civilians attack, the people that we have employed to defend us. It is getting us into a state of anarchy. And it's important that in this particular situation, these people who are being arrested, and I'm sure the video footage will be able to get us a lot more people who are involved in it. Alfred, this is the reason why a community like this, because of this, you would declare a state of emergency in that particular area, get all of these people and punish them so severely. And it would send a signal to everybody that you cannot attack the police in the quest of doing their jobs. How would we expect that people will keep on putting their lives at risk and then we will not come to their aid? The Forestry Commission, you remember, there was one of them who was slashed, in one of when they went into these communities, he had to end up at Anarchy for surgery. And there are Forestry Commission people who have lost their lives. There are policemen who have also lost their lives. The situations in which they going after these people around the water bodies, a policeman lost his life. So it is important that for the civilian authority of this country, we do not allow attacks like this to go, unpunished. That is the reason why this particular DC cannot be the chairperson of the District Security Committee when he sees police people being attacked and he comes on air and he does not speak about that. But what he wants to do is to defend and whitewash the activity that they're doing, forgetting that even if it was sand winning, it was illegal sand winning because they did not have a permit. We should be looking for this particular assemblyman who is also involved in it. We should be looking for the chiefs in these areas who might be complicit in this particular action. It is so important that we preserve the sanctity of our legally empowered state actors who have to deal with us. Otherwise, the carnage that we will be creating, and people will be looking at it and saying that, well, these people did it, nothing happened to them. I have seen a video, and Alfred, I will share it with you.
Right.
There is a gentleman walking around saying that he's in the Mansu area, that if you see any military man or policeman come into your community, if you have a gun, shoot at the person. If you have a cutlass, kill the person. You know, we have these things coming, and we are courting, you know, a cocktail of a deadly, concoction that would eat all of us up.
And you know, I would wait for that video, and maybe I know you've made it available to the security agencies as well. So it's one that we'll wait for to also have a conversation around it. But I thank you. Thank you so much for staying up to join us tonight on this matter. This existential threat that we're dealing with. Engineer Dr. Ken Ashigbe is one of the leaders of the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey, also the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Mines. But the Foreign Affairs Minister, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, has been speaking about this illegal mining matter. There was a mini cabinet meeting earlier today. Said this issue was topical at that meeting. Take a look.
I can confirm to you that you are going to see a fight that has never been witnessed in this country. President Mahama is going to lead a very ruthless and relentless campaign against Galamsey. He has not minced words at all. We had a brief cabinet meeting earlier today, and the president was very clear. There was no ambiguity that he will be leading a war that we have never seen to deal with this canker, this existential threat, once and for all.
Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa there. It's Ghana time. Let's stay a bit further on him because that's coming up next. Government of Ghana is seeking United States expert support in investigating the fatal helicopter crash. Now, we're going to break down the issues, but really hear from the Foreign Affairs Minister again, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, who earlier today indeed confirmed that experts from the United States of America will be arriving in Ghana to help probe the Z9 helicopter crash a little over a week ago, and also get some collaboration with the manufacturers, that's the Chinese as well. Let's take a look at this.
I can confirm to you that on the instruction of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, we have formally requested the Americans to come in and assist. We all know that they have considerable expertise when it comes to these matters. And so the indication we have received from the Americans is that they are very much willing to assist. We think that it is important to bring in independent experts to ensure that the outcome of the investigations will be acceptable to all, so that there will also be confidence in the process. Nobody has anything to hide, and it is important that this process is done in a very thorough manner, in a manner that will be at par with best practice, the international gold standard. That is what President Mahama wants us to achieve. So I can assure you that our note verbal has long been issued. The Americans have responded, and we are expecting the arrival of American experts soon to help us with the investigations. You do know that I am a member of the Armed Forces Council and the National Security Council. And so I can confirm to you that the Chinese have already been contacted and the manufacturers are standing by. Indeed, the briefing we have received from the CDS is that there is a standing protocol where the black box must be, as it were, made available to the manufacturer, in this case, the manufacturers of the Z9 helicopter. And so they are standing by. But in the president's wisdom, the president does not want anything to proceed without independent experts. And I think that it is quite fair.
Well, that's Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa. He's a Foreign Affairs Minister there. And let's bring in Richard Kumado, a security analyst, briefly on this. Kumado, thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. Now, this is the latest to the layer of what measures have been put in place to unravel what exactly led to this crash a little over a week ago. The United States has also been contacted, requests made, invitation accepted. How does this strike you?
I wasn't surprised at all. The foreign minister said many of the things we'll be saying for all this while. When you have external expertise, it makes sure that the process is safeguarded, and it helps you to achieve a homogeneous integrity that goes way beyond reasonable doubt. To the extent that this has become a public interest matter, it's important we have as many people who are willing to help us. And I've always said that it is not unusual that expertise of people with technical abilities from other countries comes to help us. We have also been of help to many countries across the globe, and it is very reciprocal in terms of investigations for that matter. Now, we are aware that the black box will have to go to the Chinese because they are the manufacturers of the Z9. Whatever happens, both the Chinese and the Americans are going to cooperate with the investigators on the ground to ensure that they unravel what happened to us. But after, to the extent that there has been a cabinet meeting today, and you hear the foreign minister saying what he said, it means that conclusively, our investigators, right from day one to where we are, as at yesterday, might have gotten about 70 to 80% evidence of what has happened to us, what is likely to remain the same, and what is likely to change. And even with what is likely to change, they can tell you confidently the degree to which those changes can be assessed. So that is where we are. And I think we are doing the right things at the right time. Let's exercise patience and let the outcome be made known to everybody. Then we'll take it from there.
Well, talk about the outcome being known to everyone. To what extent would you advocate that level of transparency? Because there are some matters, obviously, which will border on national security, which cannot be put out there. So is it a wholesale advocacy of transparency that everything about this be made public?
Definitely, some aspect will be made public, and the media will have to push for that. You remember people were asking for information. There has been a lot of information. It was the President of the Republic who said at the funeral of Dr. Muntala that the DNA results were sent to Ghana electronically. Then he also announced that those of the 6 remaining were on their way. Because democracy is in the open and governance is on social media, just after the funeral, you saw the Minister of Health, Akando, together with the IGP, because it was a police officer who led the forensic team to South Africa, showing out to the whole country that they have received the DNA or the forensic examination outcomes of the remaining 6. Right. So that is a credible information out there. I think that the media will have to push, but no matter what it takes, the national sovereignty will be preserved, national security interests will be preserved. What needed to be made known to the public will be done. By and large, the media will have to ask government, and I believe from what Okudjata Broker said tonight, government will be willing to make it known to the general public.
And I do thank you, as always. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alfred.
And Richard Kumado is a security analyst. But after this quick break, we'll play to you the Catholic Church earlier today, in fact, this evening, they held a solemn vigil at the Christ the King Parish in Accra, and to honor the memory of the late Defense Minister Dr. Edward Omaneboma and Squadron leader Peter Bafemi Anala as well. The widows have been sharing some fond memories of them. We'll be back shortly after this quick break. Stay with us.
reporting from the Takoradi Market Circle.
From the heart of the Upper West Regional Capital.
From the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom.
Reporting from Sunyani.
From the Central Business District of Navrongo.
The parliamentarians are on recess.
This is where it all unfolds. The moments that potentially alters the course of our nation and the world. These are the individuals we recognize, the voices we amplify, who appears on screen and who contributes behind the scenes. With professionalism at our core, we bring you news you can trust, impact journalism that makes a difference. This illustrates how diverse perspectives enhance our strength and reinforces our mission. This is 3 News. Leaders in breaking news, exclusive interviews, facts and analysis on TV, radio, online and digital. 3 News, first in news.
So much live on Ghana Tonight just ended a while ago was a vigil mass at the Christ the King Catholic Church here in Accra in memory of the 8 who died in the helicopter crash, and especially for the late Defense Minister Dr. Edward Omaneboma and Squadron leader Peter Abafemi Anala. Now, we shall be hearing some of the tributes that really poured out in the early hours of this evening when this mass was held in their memory. First off, let's start with the late Squadron leader Peter Anala's wife, who had this to share with the world. Take a look.
Mafemi, as I affectionately called you, was my answered prayer. From the moment I met him, my life has never been the same. My husband was a hard-working man. I have never seen a person more dedicated to his work and hustle. Peter told me that he will never allow me lift a finger because he will lift both hands, both of us. And true to his word, I have not had to struggle for anything. Peter took care of his family, just as he took care of his friends. He did every single thing to make sure my life was comfortable. My husband was a go-to person for everyone who knew him, sacrificing and laying down his life to come through for anyone in need. Anyone who knows Peter knows that he would go hungry for the sake of his loved ones. 2 months ago, when you held my hand in the delivery room, through the birth of our beautiful baby, Wenle Westwamu Anala, we had a new hope for our future and expectations for our family and the life we want to have. Mafemi, I expected you to stay with me for at least a month to help us settle in our new reality.
And that's the wife of the late Peter, the Squadron leader Peter Anala there, and you hear her talk about their 2-month-old baby. And well, she wasn't alone in this moment of reflection and also sharing the beautiful moments with these gallant Ghanaians whom we have lost. The late Dr. Edward Omaneboma's wife also had this to say, but her tribute was read on her behalf. Take a look.
KB, as I affectionately called you, we were destined to be together. Though I was not a medical student, fate brought us together on that fateful day when I boarded the medical school bus. Our friendship started and was nothing short of love and adventure. Our night walks from my home to buy kenkey and fish, and vice versa. I always looked forward to visiting you in school so we could embark on our love walk to buy kenkey and fish. Thus, our buying and eating kenkey became our hallmark. In fact, I saw a father in you because you were the exact replica of my dad. You also confirmed to me when you first met my dad, you knew you had found a partner for life. I had no doubt you would be a loving and perfect father to our children. You were truly God sent. Your commitment and love were such that you proposed, we got married on my birthday, and we have always had a double celebration on my birthdays, which I was looking forward to this year also. When we started having kids, you were nothing short of a wonderful father. You were a great source of hope to me and the children.
A wonderful father indeed, and that was also confirmed by the late Dr. Edward Omaneboma's children, who had this to say about him.
Daddy, we never imagined we would have to say goodbye so soon. You were more than a father to us. You were a safe place, our teacher, our greatest encourager, our friend, and above all, our example of what it meant to live with integrity, humility, and courage. You taught us that success was not just about what we achieved, but about the lives we touched. You lived those words every single day, whether you were serving patients in the hospital, fighting for justice in the corridors of power, or laying on our beds after a long day at work for a quick talk, which almost always ended up with you asleep. Your love was steady, your guidance was gentle, and your laughter was the warmth that filled our home. Daddy, even with the weight of national duties on your shoulders, you always made time for us. You called us every day when you traveled. You never missed our important moments. And when you couldn't be there in person, you made us feel you were right beside us. You reminded us that family is not part of life, it is life. You taught us to dream big, but stay grounded. You showed us that compassion is a strength, that speaking the truth is an obligation, and that service to others is the greatest clarion call. We will miss writing with you, laughing with you, sitting with you whenever you had a lull in your schedule. We will miss talking about our future, hearing your advice, you driving us to school all the time, especially when you had exams. Daddy, why did you have to leave us so soon? Never in a million years could we have imagined you'd leave us. You live your life like a race, always trying to do more, love more, and share more. We really thought you'd live forever because your light was so bright it could never go out. Omane, why have you done this to us? We absolutely cannot believe we will never see you again. Never hold your hand, never sit with you at night and talk, never laugh with you, never see the many stickers you always send us.
May their souls continue to rest in perfect peace. And while tomorrow, the remains of the 6 other gallant Ghanaians of the 8 who died in the helicopter crash will be laid to eternal rest. And the venue for this particular ceremony to honor the memory of these fallen heroes is shaping up. What you're seeing are the visuals from, in fact, these are live videos from the Black Star Square, what's happening right now, tonight, in preparation of tomorrow, or ahead of tomorrow. The Black Star Square will be the venue for the last moments of the 6 gallant heroes, fallen gallant Ghanaians, who will be laid to eternal rest tomorrow. We will be there to bring you everything you need to know as we create that platform for you out there and the entire world to follow every step of the way, the last moments of these gallant Ghanaians. So make a date tomorrow morning. The coverage for this moment of reflection and a solemn day for the families of these fallen heroes starts at 6 a.m. So at 6 a.m., tune in to TV3, 3FM, 92.7, Onia FM, Onia TV, Akma FM, Connect FM, 3news.com, TV3 Ghana across social media platforms. We will be at the Black Star Square, the Independence Square, to bring you everything you need to know. Myself and the team, Kemini Amano, and also Eric Maunebeta, we will be on the ground with the great support from the team behind the scenes as well. At 6 a.m. tomorrow, Roland Walker, Johnny Hughes, and Helena Pian-Poffo, together with the New Day team, would also be in here to do a lot more in complementing what is going to be happening on the ground. We would also have presence at the military cemetery as well. So it's a 360 round-the-clock coverage we're bringing you tomorrow. I want to thank you. so much for staying with us here on Ghana Tonight. We're back again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I'm Alfred Ocansey. Have a good night.
Ghana Tonight is brought to you by Flamingo Paint. Superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage, simply superior.
Sasso insecticide spray and coil.